with myself. I'm in love with you, and I just can't help it myself. I'm in love.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Morning. Hello. Let me make myself full screen. Good morning, everyone. Hello. This is Kathy. If you can hear me, if you can see me, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. I know that the stream is working well, and we are ready to rock and roll. So let me know. Let me know if everything is working. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that it is not. Thank you, Cheryl. Always the first to say hello in our member live stream, as well as, any live webinars we do. Thank you so much. You are truly a VIP. And thank you, Krista, Federic. Wonderful. All right. So this morning we are live trading the U.S. inflation report. And how many of you joined us for live trading non-farm payrolls last week? If you did, say yes. If you didn't, say no. Let me know if you joined us for that live session. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. Yes, I'm hoping that you're talking about the live stream from the live trading last week that you joined us. Okay, actually, some of you did, some of you didn't. Oh, wow. So we've got a lot of new faces here. Wonderful. We, did fantastic live trading non-farm payrolls. It's probably one of our most profitable events to trade. And, I hope CPI will be as well. CPI is certainly taking a little bit of a backseat to the tariff headlines. We don't have much time. When we live traded non-farm payrolls, we started at 8:10 a.m., but right now it is 8:17. So we're just going to dive right into it. So whenever we live trade, or whenever I trade, period, there is a certain process that I go through. And the most important thing to remember, to know about the process, which I hope to share with you today, is that market sentiment is probably the most important thing to take into consideration. And I'm going to walk you through that so that we understand market sentiment, and then you understand how I select the currency pairs that we're going to be live trading. So I will be live trading Forex. Boris will be coming on to live trade gold and indices. So there'll be a little bit for everyone, because I know that some of you are Forex traders and many of you are gold and indices traders. So let me go ahead and share with you my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, so this is my screen. This is my checklist. This is my checklist for all the trades, whether it's a normal trading day with no data, or it's a day like today where we're live trading the inflation report. So every single day, my process is I start my day, I look at what was the economic data released overnight. Was there any headlines that came out overnight that is kind of overshadowing everything else? And then I look at, what are stocks doing? How are bond yields doing? What the US dollar is doing? And then only after that do I look for my trading setups. For me, that's ZIP. For you, that could be anything else. And then I look for moving average clearance, meaning that I make sure I do not sell into support or buy into resistance. So now let's take a look at start by going through this step one by one. Now let's start by looking at economic data. So last night, we had a few pieces of data. We had Japanese inflation data, Japanese bank lending. Now, inflation data is much more important than bank lending for any country. So Japanese inflation data is stronger. It's a little bit of the reason why the yen is up across the board. Australian inflation expectations is hot. And that is also one of the main reasons why the Australian dollar is up today. But the Australian dollar is held back a little bit because Chinese inflation data is weaker. And you may or may not know that the Aussie is considered like a proxy for China, because they engage in so much trade activity with China. So, typically when things aren't so good for China, it's usually expressed in the Australian dollar. And that kind of explains why the Australian dollar is a bit of an underperformer today. This morning, we had some Italian data, doesn't matter at all. The main focus today is going to be the US inflation report, but we also have jobless claims. And we also, this doesn't matter so much, but we also have a ton of Fed speak today. So inflation report is very important. When it comes to trading ZIP, and I've traded ZIP for the last 10 years, we haven't had a losing month since 2023. I think it was like May of 2023. My point is not to boast about my performance. My point is to say that performance is just generated by knowing when to trade and when not to trade. So we did not trade ahead of the US inflation report this morning. Normally, I trade at 6:30 in the morning, New York time, and 8 p.m. the night before. So we didn't trade either, because the inflation report, the non-farm payrolls report, the central bank rate decision, the Federal Reserve rate decision, and the first GDP report and retail sales are all things where, you tend to get a lot of consolidation before the burst. And that's why it tends to have more fake outs than continuation, which is normally what I trade. Now, we're not really getting that today, which I'll talk about in a minute. But as a rule of thumb, I do not proactively trade the inflation report, meaning that we do not take trades ahead of it. We only take trades after it. And that's really also the key to our success with trading some of these big reports. A lot of people shy away from trading non-farm payrolls, or they shy away from trading the inflation report because they say spreads widen, there's a lot of volatility, things like that. And all of it is true. But and Boris, we love to trade news, because usually we're waiting for the data to come out and then we get in. So now we've looked at the data. Now it's time to look at what the market's doing. What are stocks doing? Stock futures, upper right-hand corner. For me, Dow futures are down 1.5%, 600 points. ES futures, S&P futures are down almost 2%, and Nasdaq futures are down 2.5%. So actually the market is down a lot this morning. Now, it's not down as much as yesterday's rally, so it's only a fraction of that. So it's a retracement, but still, we're not seeing the continuation of yesterday's blockbuster rally. Instead, investors are still nervous. They're waking up from the buzz of the tariffs being delayed for 90 days and realizing that it's still going to be, first of all, China and the US trade is very, very important for a lot of goods, and still going to be a long path forward. So number one was, what was data? Number two was, what is the sentiment? What is stocks doing? And stocks are lower. And the fact that stocks are lower tells us that we're in a bit of a risk-off mode today. And that's important to remember in the back of our minds when we kind of select our trades. The third thing is, what are bond yields doing? Bond yields are, 10-year bond yields are flat. They're not doing anything. 10-year bond yields, they look like they want to perk up a little bit. More or less, you could say this is relief in the bond markets, although the 2-year bond yield is down quite a bit. I would say, bond yields aren't doing anything, which is a bit of a relief and it's not necessarily consistent with not giving us any direction on the US dollar. That's fine. We're going to be watching bond yields when the inflation report comes out, and then we're going to decide how it affects our trade. And then, so remember our checklist. What did we go through so far? We went through economic data, which we know that certain currency pairs have good data. We went through stocks and how we're still risk off. Bond yields, not much, but a little bit of a tinge still of lower yields. And then what's the US dollar doing? The US dollar is pretty much down across the board. Dollar yen is, selling off. And these are zip sell signals, the white candles for my BK members. You will know that when we have white candle, that's a sell signal. White candle with a red background is a sell signal. When we have white candle with a green background, that's a buy signal. And, for those of you that trade Europe, this was a beautiful zip sell signal setup in Europe. And so, that was, and then we had double zip sell signal, which is a really good continuation. But right now, the dollar is down. It is down against the euro. It's down against the Japanese yen. It's down against the Swiss franc. It's down against the Canadian dollar, pretty much down against all of the major currencies. So this is probably the most important part of trading and selecting the right trades. Because if the dollar was up today and for whatever reason, the market felt like, the tariffs was really good news for the dollar and they were bidding up the dollar. Then if we had a weaker U.S. Inflation report, the impact of the weakness would probably be less than if we had a good U.S. CPI report. Now, I really want this to set in because when the data reinforces the current movement in the market, you tend to have a bigger move. And when the data kind of is opposite the current movement, then you have a smaller move. So let's talk really about today. So today, let's think about this. Right now, we know that the dollar is down, right? So if we have a weak inflation report, then, the dollar will probably fall more aggressively, more quickly, and with less jagged movements. Because the dollar is down. If we have a strong CPI report, that's opposite the movement that we're seeing, the sentiment in the markets. So we could have a shallow dollar rally, unless we're selective about the pairs that we trade. But this is a very important thing to consider in general. Whether or not it's true today, it is true for a lot of data, which is that when it reinforces the existing moves in the market, you tend to have more oomph. You tend to have more momentum. When it is against it, then you tend to have, shallower moves unless it's completely blowout. And that's really very important. Completely blowout would be a pretty big deal, right? Because right now, the market, if we look at the inflation expectations, the market is expecting over here, the monthly CPI to slow from 0.2 to 0.1 and core CPI to grow and year-over-year CPI to slow and jobless claims, to perk up. So the market is looking for kind of a weaker report overall. So if we suddenly have a stronger report, that's going to catch everyone off guard. So now let's talk about the currencies that we are going to trade. So if we have a weak report, let's get our text box up here, okay? If we have a weak CPI report, then if you look at the right-hand corner, the currencies that are moving the most are the weakest currencies are dollar Swiss, dollar yen, and the dollar is the weakest against Kiwi and euro. So I really liked euro this morning when we were trading at the 80s, but now we're stretching to the round number at 102, which I don't love. But the real resistance, 111. The real resistance is at 111.50. I think that if we get a weak number, the trades that I will be looking at is going to be, if we get a weak CPI report, I like buying euro, buying Kiwi, because Kiwi has less moving average resistance, and then, possibly selling dollar yen, because that's gonna, or dollar Swiss. Dollar yen's gonna be more volatile than dollar Swiss. If we have a strong CPI, then my favorite currency pair to buy will be dollar CAD, because dollar CAD, if you look at the right hand corner, is flat today, which means that the Canadian dollar is actually quite weak too. So I'll be loving a long dollar CAD trade. And then maybe also long dollar yen, because it's so long dollar Swiss, because it's so dollar stretched, dollar Swiss or dollar yen. We're gonna look at dollar Swiss first. Dollar Swiss is so overstretched. This is the most bearish, whereas dollar yen looks like it has more room to fall. So that is why I think that on a weak CPI report, dollar yen looks best. On a strong CPI report, dollar Swiss looks best. Okay. So this is the game plan, all right? And we're going to look at, I'm going to put my chart up in a second. And we are also going to see the price action in the currency moves before we actually see what's going on. All right.
I'll try to call it out as soon as I can. Expectation is 3 against 3-1 prior, so it's cooler. It's possible it could be cooler because of oil and gas. But we're going to be watching also core. Core is expected to be 0.3 against 0.2. Again, anywhere within expectation, I think it's not going to have much of an impact. If core is 0.5, all bets are off. So that's the story.
Looks like it's a weak number. So we're buying euro dollar at 111.20. And
yeah, core is a very weak number. CPI is very positive for equities and risk right now, because
it looks like dollar yen is falling further, 145.06. So 145.06 in dollar yen, 111.20 in euro dollar. All right, there we go. 10 pips in dollar yen. Oh, 15. All right. Dollar yen closing at 144.91. I think we should get it again. We sold at 143.06. Oh, there we go. If you got 20 pips, that's even better. And euro dollar, it's already moved up 10 pips. If you want to take profits there, you could. Just sending trade alerts to our members. Sold dollar yen at 143.06 plus 20 in it. And then we also bought euro dollar at 111.20. And then you can close euro dollar. So it looks like, all right. So these moves are moving. I'm going to pop dollar Swiss over here just for a second. Go ahead.
Bond yield's really down too. Very supportive of short dollar yen, right?
Well, regardless, we've closed already the euro dollar at 111.30. We closed dollar yen when it went below, all the way down to 144.88. Of course, I didn't take that whole move. We closed it, and then at plus 15, we went short at 143.06. I still think there's an opportunity. Boris, what's the real numbers at? Okay, let's look at this before we jump back in. So core CPI, very weak. CPI, all of it weak. Unemployment continues unchanged. So as Boris said, reinforcement of weak numbers. I think there could be another leg lower in this. But I think euro dollar, first of all, I don't want to be in dollar Swiss. I think Kiwi dollar, you want to basically buy strength, sell weakness. And it's clear that euro is strong, dollar yen's weak. Let's see if we have any trades in the crosses. I've got my eye on euro dollar for a potential next setup. So let's see. Aussie Kiwi, nothing going on. I'm looking at this Euro Kiwi trade. Nothing going on. No zip signals. Euro Pound's got a zip signal, but I don't really like Euro Pound. Euro CAD's got a zip signal, which is interesting. I still like the euro dollar trade. I think we could have another push higher. We're going to look at euro dollar in the longer term charts in a second after I just kind of scan through my zip charts. All right, let's look at euro dollar and longer term charts. Where is resistance? So we've got resistance at 111.50. So I think we're clear. So I think euro dollar, I think that's the right bet. If it gets back to 111.20, I think we could see another move higher. I think dollar yen 145.04 could be another push lower in dollar yen. But my preference is euro dollar 111.22 going for 111.50, I think. Let's see if we get that move there in euro dollar. We were just looking at euro pound. What's going on in euro pound? I don't love. Okay, so here we know what the euro is doing. We're going to pop pound up here. Pound is definitely lagging behind. Euro is definitely in charge. But, I'm not a fan of trading pound. I like euro CAD. Let's see what euro CAD is looking like on the longer term charts. So this is where I look for moving average clearance. We look for a moving average clearance. And EuroCAD looks like it has moving average clearance, but I don't like, it's come a long way. It's up at 1.5%. So the moves are kind of overextended. I think I'm just going to stick with Eurodollar for now. But I like the EuroCAD trade. This is a zip variation trade. I think it could move higher up to 1.457 even. And Euro Pound is quite interesting as well. Let's look at Euro Pound here. Yeah, Euro Pound looks pretty good for moving average clearance as well. So those are interesting trades. I don't want to be overloaded, but I think Euro CAD, Euro Pound, and Euro Dollar look good. Euro CAD, let's see what CAD is doing over here. Yeah, I think it looks good. 156.26. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. But right now, we hit two winners. We're just long euro dollar. And then, Euro CAD, you could punt 156.26, see if you get a little bit of upside. Or Euro Pound, we're getting this pure zip buy signal here in Euro Pound as well, which is where we get the white candle. This would be a double zip buy signal, which I like a lot at 85.89. Okay, so we're just going to monitor these trades. I have put some trades on for our BK members, see if we get some momentum on the Euro CAD or the Euro Pound trade. We're long Euro CAD, we're long Euro Pound. Just pick one. I wouldn't go both. Probably Euro Pound more than Euro CAD because it's less volatile. All right, any questions? You guys are asking about dollar yen. Now, dollar yen is bouncing, and this is actually a clue. So we got to be careful of our trades because dollar yen's bouncing, which is a clue that we may not get much continuation in euro dollar. Maybe 111.22 is all we get, and that the cross trades could be more interesting because the fact that one's bouncing suggests to me that the others could be bouncing as well. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if we get a much more of a bounce. Could dollar yen be a sell again? Maybe, but it is, dollar yen, dollar Swiss are the most overstretched moves that we've seen so far.
I'm just letting you know we're unwinding the whole pop in CPI, going right back to the pre-CPI levels in equities. So there's a lot of negative momentum still there.
Okay. What about bond yields, Boris? I'm just watching my charts. I don't have bond yields up. Have bond yields changed much?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, bond yields are actually quite down. 2-year 3.8 down 2.5%. 10-year 4.3 down 0.5%. It's still high. I mean, you remember everybody. The administration really wants the 10-year below 4 because it's very expensive to refinance the debt at those levels. So the fact that 10-year is just not really coming in as much as you would think it would, given the CPI, shows you that there's a lot of concern in the bond market about financing and financing risk. I'll talk a little bit about the basis trade, which is a fancy way of saying, people try to arbitrage futures against spot treasuries. And that trade has been very, very expensive for a lot of hedge funds. So they've taken a lot of losses. And that's why there's been tremendous amount of selling in bonds, despite the fact that there's no inflation. So there's a lot of structural problems. That's one of many people think that the reason why the administration.
So Euro CAD is in the 30s. If you want to take, a small scalp and get out of it, 156.30 is a good exit. I still think it could extend to 156.50, but these are very, very extended moves, and so you got to be very, very careful. Eurodollar is pushing up. I think you should be able to get 10 pips at 156.35, 36 in Euro CAD, but I would trade defensively now.
Yeah, I mean, we're now coming into, as far as equities go, we're coming into the pre-CPI levels, but we're holding them. So we'll see if if it's going to bounce back. It's hard to say.
We did reach 156.35 in euro CAD, so I took profits on that. Euro dollar is at 111.30, so we had another 10 pips in euro dollar, so you should be out of that. So euro pound, it's got the zip signal. You could stay in. I'm squaring up. We had and this is pretty much squaring up just with this very, very small profit because we went long at 85.89. But basically, we had the first dollar yen trade we put on, we made money. The second euro dollar trade we put on, we made money. The third euro dollar trade, we made money. Then we made money in euro CAD, and then we're pretty much scratching out and with a small profit in euro pound. So 5 out of 5 live trading CPI. That is exactly this is exactly what the odds that you can expect for following your trading plan. Now, perhaps we could say everything could have worked, right? Just basically selling dollars against everything could have worked. But I feel like personally, we were less stressed out by being selective. I feel like when you pair strong with weak, you get less stressed out. That the euro dollar trade that we were in, almost euro dollar is the one that we really zoned into. Remember, I talked about how euro dollar would be the trade that I'm really focusing on, and so we plus euro dollar weak CPI, and we had very little stress on it because it never retraced. So by pairing the weak CPI with a strong number, it gives you a less stressful trade. Dollar yen would have been much more stressful, and that is why with dollar yen you only catch the first wind, and I didn't get back in. Because dollar yen and dollar Swiss, both of them you could have said still works, but you can see dollar Swiss bounced much more off of its lows, and it's at 65 right now, whereas its low is at 50. Whereas euro dollar is pretty much where we were at pre-CPI. So all of them still worked, but dollar yen, as Denise pointed out, can check the price again. It's just less stressful, is the point that I'm getting at. It's dollar yen had a lot more volatility. When you have an already overstretched move, there is less that there's a greater chance that you have a bounce that causes more stress. But when you have something that seems like it's got moving average clearance and it's not as much of barriers and resistance or support ahead of us, it creates less stressful trades. And if we had strong CPI, I really believe, dollar CAD flat, dollar CAD would have worked out really, really well because we were pairing, if we had strong US CPI, we'd be pairing the stronger US report with a currency that is already very weak. So the point I want to make is our success in trading the data is not luck. It comes with, and that's why I invite you to join us 20 minutes before, 15 minutes before, to lay out the methodical trading plan. It comes with learning how to pair strong with weak, and then also learning to key into the sentiment in the market, which you can see through the zip trades, the zip setup, and you can learn how to trade zip. For those of you that don't know how to trade zip, Boris, if you can pop in the community link. Yes. I have videos on how to. Let me see if I got logged out because I have to reboot my computer. In our free community, hopefully I didn't get logged out. You will see that. Just give it 1 second. I didn't get logged out. Under learning, under Forex starter course,
right?
I have a ton of videos on how to trade zip. Best and worst times trade zip, white candle, early zip, zone trade, the moving average clearance that I talk about. I have the zip checklist somewhere in here as well. Here, download the zip checklist as well, so that you can follow, even if you don't trade zip, you can follow this along with you with your trading. And this is completely free for everyone. Our community is completely free. And if you like zip, it's very inexpensive. We've got some great offers for it. So I encourage you.
Kay, while you're there,
Yes.
can you go back to the community?
Yes.
Sorry, go back to the community. And those of you who've been asking, about day trading, you can also, if you go back to the learning tab, just want to show you the resources that you can have immediately. You can go to the day trading course, which is like right there underneath Monday Live Broadcasts. Can you click that? And there is.
What's up? It just takes a minute.
It just takes a minute. You're just so there is a lot of information there, not only about day trading, but about how to use various products. How to use TradeAvate, how to use TradingView. Eventually, a section on wealth charts, because those of you who've come to us from wealth charts, we're going to have all the information there. But for now, for those of you who just joined us yesterday, we had a great session of wealth charts. You can all use this as your starting point. Tremendous amount, I think 3-4 hours probably worth of videos in there, all 4K. You can make those videos full screen to get your full visualization. All of this is also on your mobile. The app is both web-based and mobile, so you can put it on your phone and access it on your phone. You're shopping or whatever. You have a few moments. You can watch any of these courses to your heart's content. There's talks about scalping and swing and all the other various strategies, and I'm going to be adding more information into it. So along with, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we talked about the community a lot already. I'm sure that they're eager to get into your trading, but let me ask you first: how many of you made money with me trading Forex at post CPI? If you did, give me a money face, give me a thumbs up, make me feel good. So I'll do this with you again. I won't if you won't give me positive reinforcement. Let me know that you made money. Putra asks, why did I day trade instead of swing trade? With news, you have to day trade. You have to, it's all about day trading. You saw this, now we're back up in it. Does ZIP have a fixed target? Yes, Kaio. We always have a fixed target with all of our trades for ZIP, day trades and swing trades. And we do swing trades with ZIP as well. Good. Cheryl, I'm glad you made money. Rui made money. Axie made money. TS didn't trade it, but hopefully you've learned, because one of the most important things, and that's why I call this session Learn, Prepare, and Execute, is that you learn how we lay out a trading plan. You learn the process of respecting the current sentiment in the markets. Good job, Tammy. Good job, Denise. I'm so glad that all of you made money, and you will continue to do so when I hand the reins over to Boris, who is going to trade. What are you trading? Gold indices?
Actually, right now I'm trading indices. I can share let me see if I can share my chart. Hold on a second. I gotta, share screen window. I actually have a tiny little position here in the S&P. I've done, what a surprise. I made even more improvements on my indicator to make life so much easier. Okay, by the way, look how cool the indicator is. See these white lines? It shows them to take profits right then and there, so that you just simply place
I don't see any white lines.
The little
dots?
Do you see the dot? Yeah, sorry, white dotted lines. And it's just these, you can literally place your buy stops and limits in there, and without even knowing what the prices are, because it automatically calculates it for you. So it's super
fantastic.
Super.
Boris is always trying to make everything better for our members. So this is
and by the way, and here's the thing,
Boris. What is this? What is this I'm looking at? What indicator is this?
This is the BFF Scalper, the 125th version of it, which I'm going to.
Well, a lot of people are new; they don't even know anything about it.
No, exactly. I'm going to get involved and talk to you a little bit about that. Talk to you a little bit about. We have about 45 minutes before the markets open, so we're going to just take a little bit of time. Today is a great day for us to just explain everything that we do in BK, all the tools that I have available for you, and talk a little bit about that before we get into the market open trading. So. The first thing we can talk a little bit about is that this is, what we use day to day in our day trading in terms of being able to both scalp and swing. Now, all of you know that the market environment has changed tremendously over the last couple of days. And I actually just tweeted out, sort of facetiously, but very much true, that swing is the new trade. And what I mean by that is that there's no opportunity at all anymore to try to go for like 2 or 3 points or 5 points, because the 5 points is what the markets move in 1 second. It's just really, really stupid. So until the markets calm down, what we can do is just simply use all of our abilities to trade scalp in trend mode and counter trend mode as swing conditions, which is exactly what I'm doing here right now. I basically turned all of these short-term trades into effectively swing trades by using very, very clean, simple ideas. So signal here, swing high is your stop, and it automatically creates a swing high and a target 1, target 2 at your discretion. My discretion is half risk, 1.5 risk. So let's say my stop is 1 unit. My first target would be 0.5 units. My second target would be 1.5 units. If it was like, let's say, translated into S&P points, let's say my stop is 10 S&P points, but that's my risk. I would take first profit at 5 points and the second profit at 15 points. And all these lines just simply paint all that information for you. But of course, you know, everybody's a degenerate trader with me, and so am I. I just couldn't quite leave alone the idea of, like, you know, maybe, you know, I still want to scalp a little bit, right? So one of the things I did, which I think you guys are all going to absolutely love, is, remember, BFF Scalper has 3 modes. It has the trend mode right here. Then you can go here and you can do counter trend mode, right? Which basically trades against the trend. The trend is defined as being the ASMA is below the 200 SMA. That's a negative trend. So counter trend means you're buying against the negative trend. Trend means you're selling into the trend. And then we also have the turn mode, which we call range, basically, right? And now every one of these modes has the momentum dots behind it. These momentum dots give you additional scalp ideas. And the way you kind of want to think about this is, the easiest way to think about this is, if you go into the range mode, let's go scalper range mode, trend mode, I'm sorry, scalper trend mode, right? Which is the simplest idea to see. So trend is negative, right? Because it's red trend, you know, trend sell because we're underneath the thing. Anytime you have a negative, a red dot in trend, you can take that for a scalp. So the way I would take it is, I would sell bottom here, whatever is the risk here. Let's say, I don't know, this is 20 points. I would try to take half. So you could essentially create very nice, clean, small scalp conditions. Now, what I wanted to tell you guys is, you're looking at the 66 account, which we started this week at around 51,000. It's less than $500 to funding. You're looking at an account that I did yesterday, which was the 64 account, which I funded yesterday. This is like the third or the fourth funded account this week, right? We have the 55s. I'm really just waiting until we get probably about 6 or 7 funds, and then we just trade them all together. 53s, all of that funded. And now I'm working on this last one in funding. You're going to ask me, how did I do this so well in this crazy market environment, right? And I'm going to tell you very, very simply, I am trading one micro, the weakest, smallest share, because these things move $50 on a single candle in a micro mode. You don't need to be a hero to make money in the market these days. Trading 1 micro, 2 micros if I'm doing a swing trade. So if I'm doing a swing trade, like a trend sell trade, I'll trade true with 2 exits. If I just want to scalp in the direction of where I want to go, take the red dots. I'll just sell 1 and at half risk, right? Whatever is the risk. If it's 10 points, 15 points. The point being is, I was kidding around. I said swing is the new scalp, but it really is. But the key to being successful is reducing your size to the smallest possible size. So I'm literally trading micros both on the Nasdaq and the S&P, and sometimes you can make a couple of 100 points on a micro in one trade, which is just insane, right? So it's really, really cool. Yeah, Sweetwater's talking to me about gold, which also trading gold. Gold has been a money. Gold has just been pure money. So gold is positive trend. Gold is clearly benefiting from this incredible chaos that's going on in the world. And here's how I would show you. I would scalp gold. So here's a trend trade. The gold trend trade looks like it worked here, just really, really fast move. And then, since we're still positive trend, you can just take the next green dot, right? So this green dot, we don't have any more green dots right now, so I'm not taking any more. But the next green dot that shows up, I'll trade that with you. So yeah, closing above is going to be a pretty big deal. I think Sweetwater, I always thought gold is going to be 5,000 by the end of this, and it's probably going to be that way. It may be 5,000 by the summertime, the way we're going. But clearly, the strongest trend right now is gold. The other really cool thing about all of this is that because we're trading micros and because, no trade is more than $100, $200 loss for us, we can trade multiple stuff here in this one account for now. I don't have to really, worry with you. So before the market opens up, I want to just talk to you a little bit about, we had a great presentation at Wealth Charts. I want to, let me see if I can do this. I want to just take a couple of minutes to show you, because there is something for you guys that only we have that is just a ridiculously good deal. So I wanted to share with you before the market starts opening, because for those of you guys looking to literally pay nothing to trade prop, I think I might have something for you up my sleeve. So you can see that I just sort of showed everybody that in both Wealth Charts and in TradingView, I've been able to fund accounts really fast using all of these techniques that I showed you. This is the last Wealth Charts. I haven't. One of the people who's commenting on our boards right now has his certificate here. I will not disclose his real name, but let's just say he's an absolutely golden boy. So many folks that you guys are watching me here across on Twitter, or you watching me on YouTube, many people who are watching me are also part of our community and part of our Pass the Prop Academy. What I basically said yesterday, and I very much stand by it, is, listen, we do this every day, live market information. I take real accounts and take them to funding with you all the time. Unlike a lot of guys on YouTube who say, "Oh, look at all the stuff I got funded," off screen. I show you every single trade. We trade the future, not the past. So I hope you really believe me when I tell you that everything we show, we actually do in real life. We eat our own dog food, and as a result of that, the guys who are enrolled in my Pass the Prop Academy have passing rates of 70% in terms of getting the account funded, which is astounding when you think about the fact that only 5% of all traders in the world can pass any of these prop tests, because they're very hard to do. So the techniques, the structures, the sizing, all of the stuff that I talked to you about here, we do it in much more detail in my Pass the Prop Academy, and it is an incredibly valuable experience. So yesterday we made this offer, which we're going to keep for just one extra day, which is that we're going to extend my Pass the Prop Academy coaching, add Kathy's Forex signals and Kathy's VIP signals for a whole 6 months, add Kathy's Forex course for a free, and add all of our tool sets, both in Wealth Charts and TradingView, all for free into this package for $597, right? But here's what happened yesterday that I think is going to blow your mind. So all the stuff is great. I don't need to tell you how good the stuff is. The Pass the Prop Academy alone, a really great deal, because you get to spend 6 months with me. We're going to start the new spring-summer season as soon as the spring break is over next week. I'm going to be with you guys. We're going to create a special session. I'm also going to have a special session to teach you how to use all of our indicators on Wealth Charts. All of the stuff that you see here on TradingView is going to be completely transported to Wealth Charts, and we're going to start trading with Wealth Charts in just a little bit when I come back from spring. But and of course, you're going to get all of Kathy's Forex fundamental stuff, which I think you're going to love very much, because she is a rock as far as trading FX. And those of you guys who may be trading CFDs or maybe trading other prop firms on FX, you can use all her techniques like a rock. Anyways, the point being is, all of this, usually it's a 3-month program. We're doing this a 6-month program for you guys. We're giving you all the information, all of our access to our community, all the VIP stuff. But then yesterday, something happened that was unbelievable. Guys at Apex and Wealth Charts called us and said, "Hey, we're going to do this one-time sale. Probably going to end it today. 90% off. Every evaluation you have out here, or every package you want to buy, it's literally less than a cup of coffee. Nobody else has this deal. Nobody else has a deal. As a matter of fact, let me just put the actual, for those of you guys who want the just the deal itself, I'm going to put the link in here. This link is going to, trust me, it's going to go away probably within a day or two. If you don't nail it, it's going to go up 5 to 6 times its value. Like the discount now is only 50%. So it's a huge difference. I mean, you're talking about getting the 250K account for $16, which is unbelievable. So get them while you can. But I'm going to do you one better. Yesterday, I made this offer. So many people jumped on it, and they absolutely loved it, which is that what we're going to do right now is, if you come join us, and I'm going to put the link in here again. You can QR chart this. You can QR scan this link over here, or I'm just going to put the link in here for you right now in the room to sign up for our deal. Let me see if I got this. Did it come up? Oh, sorry, I misspelled it. Okay, here we go. I put the link in. It helps to have my glasses on. So the link is in the room right here. You can click that link, get our deal. If you get our deal, I promise you the following: I am going to actually turn that 90% into 100%. The first month, you buy 5 accounts, and I will totally subsidize all those accounts. Those accounts are going to be free for the first month to you if you get our deal. So lock it in. Get it in today, because I think this is probably going to go away by either today or by tomorrow. We're going to keep this offer just for another 24 hours before it all goes away as well. So I'm just going to put the link again. And I think this would be a lot of fun. I actually can't wait to start the spring summer session. Graduate another couple of hundred of you guys out of there, so you get all funded and trade with funded money and then get paid out. That's the next process that all of our students are now engaged in. And it's really a lot of fun. I mean, imagine the idea, just think how cool it is to spend $16, get a $250,000 account, trade it well, and then, a month or two down the road, get paid $5,000, $6,000 out of that account. Or even just simply take the much more approachable one, $50,000 account, which is what I'm really recommending. That's the easiest, best account to pass. I think I've passed 10 of them in the last month and a half. And think about that. You have $500,000 worth of tradable capital behind you. Even if you get paid out on 2 of them, you're getting paid out a tremendous amount of money. So really, really great deal. I hope everybody can take advantage of this. I will be very, very excited to do this with you guys. BK fighting the tariffs. Yes, I'm fighting the tariffs. I'm doing anti-tariff. You're right. You're right. I'm subsidizing it. I'm subsidizing the tariffs. Exactly. I am Vietnam in this case. I'm zero tariffs. I am Vietnam. So I hope you guys really, really enjoyed. I want to take a few minutes to showcase this. Please go ahead. I'll put the link in before we finish up trading today. But all of this is just going to disappear. They were unbelievable to give this thing. And I know already a lot of people already locked down like 5-6 accounts. I mean, it's literally like getting it's less than $100 to get 5 accounts, right? Think about that. It's just amazing. Even if you don't trade them. Oh, and I forgot the last thing, which is insane, because this is something they never do. So usually what they do is they give you the first month for free, or the first month at a big discount. And then like the second month usually goes to like a 50% rate. So it's a little bit much higher bump when you pay the second month, in case you need the second month to pass the test. But in this deal, they're locking you in to this ridiculously small. You don't even have to trade it for the first month. You can pick it up on the second month, and you're still getting charged such small amount of money that that it's literally worth it 10 times over to do this. So I think they really, really want to promote wealth charts. They're being really good partners. I'm very, very grateful, because there are no partners. There are very few partners. I think maybe 1 or 2 partners that they allowed this deal to have. So go ahead. You're not going to be able to find this. If you don't have the code, you're not going to be able to find this with anybody. So very important, by the way. What you want to do is you want to use the BK Save 90, not BK Save, but BK Save 90 code with this deal when you lock it in. So somebody says, you've never traded futures. Yeah, you should, man. Is there any training on futures? I feel you're missing out. Well, here's the cool thing, Martin. I'm a great believer in training by doing, like everybody, like everybody else. I think the best way to do it is training by doing, right? And there's no better way to train than with prop accounts, especially when they're that inexpensive. That's literally, you get to learn the platform, you get to learn how to place all the trades, and I'll go through all the stuff in terms of teaching you how to do this. And even if you blow one or two accounts, by the third or the fourth one, you're going to get much more comfortable. I always say that prop trading is the what is it? The flight simulator. You know, every single pilot in the world now trains in a flight simulator. That's how they get good. This is exactly what every single trader should be trading on prop before they go full force. So it's really, really cool. So somebody says he's got a 25 hours. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Gavilion and Joe Thompson. Yeah, you know, Joe says it would be better if you could buy all at the same time, but unfortunately they can't. You know, that's just the nature of their platform. I mean, it's an extra 5 minutes to get it all processed, but yes, you have to do it individually. It's the same thing when you get paid out. It's, you know, you have to do everything sequentially, but that's it. Yeah. So I really hope you guys all come in and you know, hang out with us. I definitely am looking forward to it. I hope it'll be a lot of fun. As I said, we have spring break and then we come back and we are hardcore ready to go. Okay. Okay. So anyways, I'll leave the links. I'll let you guys, is there much difference between, so Martin, let me tell you the dirty little secret. CFDs are all based on futures. What do you think the CFD prices come from? They come from the futures market, which is the centralized market that distributes all the prices. So no, there isn't. There is no difference. It's the difference is, of course, on the future side, you have a centralized market. Everything gets executed at first come, first serve basis, and you can make bid ask, which are all big advantages of futures. So yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's all about making money. So let's rock and roll. Yeah, let me post the bundle code right over here, guys. Sorry, right over here. Let me leave that. I'm gonna leave that for like 30 more seconds. Take a screenshot of this. Even if you don't want to use it now, just take a screenshot of it for later, because it's so much easier when you have the QR bundle. Just go get that QR bundle in there. This code will take you to the full deal, not just the course, everything. This is let me give you the whole bundle. Where's the whole bundle offer? Here's the whole bundle offer. Let me get rid of this. Just take the screenshot of this so you have it. The link is in my description, but this is really good for those of you guys who are on Twitter. You don't have to move your lazy asses over to YouTube. You could just on Twitter take the screenshot of this QR code and come in and take advantage of it. I'm going to put it up there over here. No, I kid you. I kid you, my Twitter followers. I kid you. I love you guys hanging out with us. All right, it's awesome. But it's perfect time, because usually that half hour between CPI and open, nothing really happens and nothing really is happening. But we're gonna dive into trading. I'm gonna show you all the cool stuff that I put in there, and all of it, of course, is going to be available to you both in Wealth Charts and in TradingView. And as I said, those of you guys who are coming in from Wealth Charts, we're going to have a special private webinar in how to use BK indicators on Wealth Charts. And starting when I come back from my spring break, I'll be trading Wealth Charts with you guys as well as TradingView, just to give you a really good idea. Yes, I kid you. I love you, Gato. I love you. I kid you. No, it's just, I always yell at everybody on X, get over to YouTube. That's where all the links are. That's where all the deals are. And of course, they never get over here. So one last thing, by the way, I'll put up the, for those of you guys who just want to join our room, here's the join link for the room as well. Okay, so thank you again. Everybody got the referral codes. Everybody got everything going. Any problems, just email me or get a hold of me in our community room. I'll fix it up for you. But I think you guys will be in really, really great shape. This is 6 months of basically the full BK experience for a ridiculously low price. Plus, I'm subsidizing 5 accounts. Where else are you going to get 5 accounts for free, effectively? Nowhere, baby. Just with us. I really, really want you guys to have the fun. Okay. All right, let's get back to the charts. Let me see if I can go this way. So what do I do? Remove, add to the stage. There we go. And we're back to the charts. Let me put myself a little higher. I think this one, right? Okay, we'll put that over here. We'll put me over here. It's even better. I'm totally out of the way. And we can watch the charts, and I can kind of walk you through everything. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody good? How was your day yesterday, guys? Yesterday was insane. It was so insane that I don't even know what to tell you. So, I told you guys my daughter was sick, right? She's fine. It's just, I think, the flu or something, but 102. So the doctor, I live in New York City. That's the beauty of New York City. The doctor literally is 1 block away. Like, I'm on 77 West End. They're on 78 West End. So, I drag her to the doctor, 12:30 in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They do the strep, they do the flu. She tests negative, and I'm watching the screen, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And literally in that half hour that I was at the doctor's, NAS and S&P went up 8 and 10% in half an hour. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I, at that point, of course, then I saw that he lifted the tariffs, but that was insane. And, the ranges continue to be really, really wide. We continue to be really, really huge in our volatility trading. And that's why I say, and so what happened was I came back and I went down to like one micro, 2 micro, and those trades started to make like $200-300 per trade. And that's how I was able to nail the 60. Remember, I was trading the 60. Which one I was trading? The 69 account with you guys? I think I was trading this one. No, I was trading the 64 account with you guys. Trading the 64 account, and I was like, oh, this is the red hair stepchild. I can't get this up above. It was at like 51.3, 51.2. I can't get it up above 252, and it went to 52, 2.5. Boom, boom, boom. By the end of the day, I literally blew it right through the 53s. It was awesome. So momentum was definitely our friend, and that was a lot of fun. Oh, John says 47,000 on Brent and crude. Good job, man. Jesus, we're not even looking at crude. Did it crash yesterday, or did you trade the return? I don't even know what happened yesterday. Wow, that's really amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of people had their best day ever. It's just truly insane. Truly insane in terms of how wild it is in terms of volatility. So I think the rule number one, as far as trading concerned, that I really wanted to talk to you about was that you got to come down to micros. Just like right now, you're going to see me just trading tiny little micros. Oh, let me get out of the 64 account. Which account am I trading now? This one, 66. So I'm trading the 66 account just kind of to let you guys know. Gold, S&P, Nasdaq. So the thing that I did that I think all of you, hopefully you'll really appreciate it. Remember, first of all, yesterday I created swing functionality for every single mode of BK. BK has a trend mode. BK has a scalper counter trend mode. BK has a turn mode. And then, of course, BK has the trend shift during the day mode. But we'll just leave that alone because we really never trade that because that happens usually off hours. It's great trades, one or two trades a day. Excellent trades, but we just, we'll probably devote a whole special. Maybe I'll do like an afternoon live trading with you guys to do trend shift into it because there's just so much that we have, that we can focus on that we don't have time to do that one. But anyways, those 3 modes: turn, trend scalp, counter trend scalp, are all there, and I turned all of those into essentially swing signals where you take the signal, it shows you the stop. If you hover over the label, it'll show you the stop, the target, the amount of risk that's going on in that particular trade, and you can see how all of this develops. But then today I was like, listen, in the turn mode, everybody's got the momentum candles. Why don't we just put the momentum candles globally, and that way, if let me sort of explain to you, what my thought pattern is. I'm in trend mode. As long as I'm in, this is obviously trend buy. Market is trend buy. The blue is above the green in this case. This is gold, right? Then I just want to basically, if I want to scalp, I can scalp the green dots. because they are completely complementary. I mean, they're confirming the trend concept that's going. In other words, I'm in long term is a trend mode. This is a short term breakout in trend mode. So therefore, that should give me continuity signals. And you can see on the chart it does. If I'm long here, there's continuity here. If I'm long here, there's continuity here. If I'm long, even if I'm long here, although this one I think, well, depending on where you had a stop. Usually what I like to do is put a stop at the prior candle low, so give myself a little bit of room. If you had that stop, you had move, and here continuity, here just a little bit of continuity. So more times than not, you're going to get continuity, meaning that you'll have some forward motion. Now, how you want to structure those trades, I think a reasonable way to scalp those trades is half risk. So if risk is whatever the risk is in terms of the bottom of the candle or the bottom of the prior candle, let's say it's 10 points, try to go for 5 points, right? I generally, what I have is like I have these wide stops and targets of like 25 points on each side, and then I just simply move them on the screen to adjust them to whatever is the dynamic goes on. And that just gives us a little bit of additional, oomph in being able to trade the product. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to trade Nasdaq right now. And here's Nasdaq because it's negative trend, right? The risk is pretty much, what is that? I can't. The only problem is that I have to look this up. What is that? High 51.12. So that's like a 30-point risk. So I basically want to have, I don't know. Let's put this over here. Oh, did I sell two? I sold two. Oh, I didn't realize I sold two. Okay. I sold two. I should have only sold one. So, okay, I'll put 1.5 and maybe one just underneath here. Let's see if this thing does it. I should probably, if I'm looking at this, if I want to be intellectually correct, this should be my stop. But remember, I took a trade really for demo purposes. If this thing could rip my face off because it's before the market open. But still, I am hopefully on the right side of the move because the move is still negative, right? We're still in trend, and I have a trend momentum signal. So there should be some continuity. Now, how much continuity there is here before the market open is open to interpretation. So this closes at 18, and the lowest it went to was 806, probably 10 points. I really needed like 20 points, right? This is a 50 to 30 points. I need about 15 points. I need about 15 points, which would be half risk of this particular candle. Let's see if it plays out. But the thing is that you have lots and lots of these tiny little opportunities to want to scalp away if you want to, while you wait for longer term swing like conditions to materialize. Or you could even, and this is something that I love to do, you find a swing. Here's a swing sell, right? And then you open up a position, and in addition to that, you get additional momentum sell signals. You just simply add on to your position and just scalp those to the downside. The flip side of that is if the whole thing reverses, you're kind of like super short or super long, but you're in micros. So the worst that happens to you is a couple of $100 swing the other way. You are never in any kind of a massive liquidation danger. Here we go to the reversal side. So this doesn't look like this. The swing is going to give me continuity. Okay, so I have my stop over here. This is a reasonable stop. We'll see if the selling momentum keeps in mind. Of course, this strategy works absolutely best when you have a nice long swing leg, right? Which doesn't happen all the time. So if you catch that big swing leg of a couple hundred points, that's where you make all your money for the day. And in these things, you kind of just, make one, lose one, make one, lose one. But then you catch like a big swing leg, and you can just kill 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 trades, in your direction. And that's all you need. You're done for the day with really good practices. And the momentum dots just are so good at just most of the time putting you into the momentum trade, which is where you want to be, to the downside. So let me know what you guys think on that one. I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, I think anybody who's new to the game should only trade with micros. Period. Yeah, 55 to 51. Yeah, Brunt's really close. Sweetwater says he set aside in New York and waited for Asia and killed it with gold. Yeah, I remember I traded with you in Asia a little bit yesterday in the Asia Power Hour, and yeah, I mean gold was just a monster. And by the way, all of these techniques are going to be so great for the Asia Power Hour when we come back from the swing from the spring break. So all right, looks like I'm gonna get clipped on these moves. Where's my other stop? Do I have both stops over here? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. I was like, where's my stop here? All right. I'm gonna have to eat this this trade. I wish I only had one. I just for some reason I hit two by mistake. But okay, I'm not gonna we're not gonna cry about this. We're gonna try and trade this. We're gonna flip around, see what's shaking on all the products. So the thing that I should have really been doing is just simply stayed with gold, right? I switched over to Nasdaq. Gold has been the absolute best trade here, right? So although somebody's saying gold is a little bit overbought here, you're probably right, but and I'm late on this trade, but I'll take the tiny little gold trade. Where's my trade here? So I'll get underneath here. And where's my gold? It's way big. I'll go over here, just a tiny little thing, just to see if I get any kind of momentum move on gold here. Just to show you the possibilities of the scalp moves here. Gold really is the trade to make. So we're getting a little bit more of a scalp move. Come on, baby, come on. All right, so I eat the Nasdaq, but what I should have been doing here. Where is the really great trend trade that's all been in gold? There should have been 1 winner, 2 winner, 3 winners. Happy to trade that until it kind of exhausts itself, right? Where are we at? We got about 10 minutes to the open, so we'll see how that opens up. I think they just we'll see. I think they're ripping it to the open, then just take it down even more after that. Generally, I am trying, generally my view is I want to take the red dots when I'm in downtrend and take the green dots when I'm in uptrend. But what happens when you have a move like this, you will miss, you will get clipped on a couple of these trades because obviously we're effectively reversing. So the red dots are giving you false signals. But most of the time when you're in trend, obviously the red dots are going to give you the true signals. So you just try to, right now you can actually see that the slope is very positive. So not worth it. I actually probably, the more I think about this now, I can create a slope filter and say, hey, if the slope is positive, don't give me a red signal. It would avoid all these red dots because remember we had that the slope function in the other stuff. It's a really good. Really good filter for trading. All right. Fabio says he's still blowing over micros. It's okay. Well, let me ask you a deeper question, Fabio. How many micros? You see, I'm trading 1 micro. Are you trading if you're trading multiple micros, you're really not doing, you're not small enough. You need to be doing 1, 2 at most in order to really control your risk. Fred says, what are you saying to me about gold? What's Fred is saying to me? Jean-Paul, you have the dots with a BFF scalper. You need to, sorry, everybody needs to update to the new version. Delete what you have and re-add it, it should say 12. Once it says 12, you'll have the dots. Look at gold. Holy cow, guys. 31.51. That is insane. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We basically matched the highs here, right? That is insane. Definitely going to be time, not time yet, but kind of tempting to start looking for the turn signal in gold. So, not yet. Still a trend signal. This is a big move. Look at that. It's 51 to $45 move. $5 move in gold. Wow. All right, we're gonna play it just for shits and giggles. We have to trade this at 16 seconds. We got to take a little bit of gold. So that's going to be a $5 risk against a $2.50 target. We'll give it a shot. So the target is going to be. So I'm going to put my stop over here, and my target is going to be like to 50. What is that? 53, 56, 55, 7. Let's see if we can extend. I mean, that is really the story today. Everybody's pouring into gold, right? And Nasdaq is down 2%, down $400. What's going on with Nasdaq actually? Oh, it's actually rallying off the. I thought it was worse. Jean-Paul, let me know if you were able to update the scalper indicator. I'm chasing gold too. Everybody's saying, "Oh, the moment I buy this, it's going to fall." It could easily correct. This is a massive move. But I'm going to make a bet that there's at least a little bit of continuation juice here. The key question is going to be how much. But if we can get maybe even maybe we'll just see if we can take out the highs here. We'll just come back to the highs, see if they can just move it. I mean, this is it's a really big candle. There's always like two schools of thought on this. The really big candle means that there's more continuity. It also means that almost all the buyers have been satisfied. So there's a natural retrace mode. So I certainly don't love buying the big candles, but sometimes they can be really good continuity trades. I don't know why I had that line on here. Do you guys like the green dots? Let's do a little bit of a let's do a little bit of a poll here. I'm curious. Let's do this. Do you like momentum dots on BFF scalper? Let me know. Let me know in the poll, guys. Gold is coming back. That big we have a turn signal here in gold, so that's actually really good. I'm going to reverse myself on this signal if it holds. I'm actually going to probably get out of this trade. Let's just get out of this trade. We can try it. We can trade this now, sort of on a swing basis, right? Let's give it a shot. 46, 47 seconds left. So that's kind of a legitimate turn signal if it holds. And has clean targets. Let me know if there's any other functionality that you'd like me to put into the dots function, into the scalp function. Oh, look at that. The turn signal goes away. Look at that. Turn signal goes away. 13, 14 seconds. 3, 4, 2, 1. Sell. Sell. All right, so we'll move this one to the first target. Oh, almost there. Jesus, I really dropped hard. This one's second target. I'll try to play it, and then we'll put the stops. So you see the cool thing about how we can just manage everything visually. This over here. Let's see if this kind of works on gold. We have markets opening up. Oh, I wanted to go to scalp or trend mode. Look at that. We just missed it. I missed the trend sell signal in this. Yeah. Okay. I should have been watching this, but yeah, we're fooling around with gold too, so it's fine. This would have been look. It's already hit the first target, so we're gonna just let this one go. Looks like I bet MNQ did the same thing. Should have been just patient with my thesis on. Yeah, same thing. See, would have made target on both. All right. Next time I'll have all three on the same chart, and we'll follow them. So market opening up, big move. Do we want to take a little bit of a scalp here? We'll give it a shot. See if I get any continuity here. All right, good. So that was a little bit of continuity on Nasdaq that you saw right then and there. Now it's going to turn itself around. Let's see what it wants to do. The real good trade would have been this trade, the trend sell trade, but I took what I could because I wasn't there. You can sort of the whole point is you guys can really see how it visually it really works with the whole idea. So I'm actually trying to see if I could get the first. We got to be in turn mode. Let me put myself into turn mode. Let's see if gold works for us a little bit. Here we go. Trying to get the first target in turn. Almost there. Yeah. Such a tease. Such a tease. Move it up a little bit here just to see if I can get it done. There we go. Come on, hit me. All right. So first target is done. And actually what I'm going to do is, the second target is over here, but I think I'm just going to, I'm just going to close this out. I just want to just catch back some of that P&L because, I double sold that unnecessary Nasdaq. And I just want to claw back a little bit of the drawback so that I can sit there and focus. The really good swing trades, I didn't get a chance to take full advantage of them, but now I will, as the day progresses. The main thing I try to do with you guys is to show you the techniques and the entry techniques. As a result of this, I screw up a lot of entries. But, here's gold really flipping around. Remember, we said, we have the signals one way, but now we really have good signals the other way. So the other thing I was going to say is, when you're in trend mode, you obviously want to trade to the trend side. When you're in turn mode, whatever is the turn signal, that's the signal you want to trade. So if this is a green signal, you trade the green dots. This is the red signal, you can trade the red dots, right? And gold clearly now, I could have just made a lot more money in gold if I wasn't such a pussy. But this would have been like $100 trade in gold had I held on to this thing. All right, we'll leave this alone. It was good enough. Let's see. I'm just curious to see what indices are doing as far as And let me go to trend. Was that S&P? I'm going to sell this. So I'm selling this just kind of to show you, again, the scalp idea. So this is my stop over here visually, and my target will now be like literally over here. Let's see if if this comes back down. Either this is going to be a complete reversal, or this continuity is going to reestablish itself. Today is an interesting day because presumably you should have a bounce, right? But because there was such a big bounce yesterday, and because really nothing is fully resolved, there's really a lot of two-way price action. Like, in other words, the bears still can push this lower, or they can just reverse this. I mean, is this the bottom? Let's see. Maybe this now becomes the bottom. This is kind of interesting. So we can look at this on a trend basis. Is this a bottom? That's kind of interesting. We can go now in a counter trend mode and just see what's happening here on a counter trend basis. No counter trend signals, but if we get a counter trend signal here, that would give us pretty good confidence that maybe this is the bottom, or maybe I just got clipped out literally at the high of the move. Just really, just the bad spike. Yeah, it really was. Look at that volatility. Wow. This is another reason, by the way, why it's scalping so much harder than swing trading, because just the volatility is so long. Okay, he says, how long is it going to take to completely retrace yesterday's pop? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Can you toggle on or toggle off the large labels? You can't, but I could make it that way. I mean, whatever you guys want as a suggestion, I'm happy to incorporate. So whatever you want to do, just put that into the community, and I'll try to work on it. Dark mode is Jean-Paul. You have to create a dark mode. There's a whole. If you watch the video, I think I put a video in our course of how to turn on light mode, dark mode. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Just trying to see if this is indeed any kind of a bottoming formation, What is MNQ doing? Also, same kind of a thing. We're kind of just holding bid here. Well, let's see. Let's see if we're going to get a little bit of a counter trend mode here. Cool thing is, you can really switch into a whole bunch of different views depending where the price action is doing, and that helps us obviously to structure all of our trades, right? Everybody likes the dots. Thank you for the dots. Yeah, so basically, we're watching the support level at 18.7. We're getting a negative dot here. Wow. This looks like a sell, baby. All right, we'll see if this red dot stays in place. I'm gonna try and sell it again. What about the S&P? The S&P really broke that. S&P just broke my heart. Look at this move. All right, we got to sell the S&P. Wow, Jesus. All right, short the S&P. It's going to be these are massive stops. But on the other hand, It should really give us some quick moves here. See if I get some continuity here. Yeah. So going back to scalp mode, just to show you why I took this, although it doesn't really matter because it doesn't seem to be fucking working. It's retracing it right on me. But look at this in trend mode. It actually hit second target. Had I been in that trade, a bit patient. I'm just, doing a lot of, this is like do as I say, not as I do part of the show, where I'm getting myself completely obsessed with the dot trades, where the real money is, of course, is in the label trades, right? The label trades is where all the money is at. Dot trades are just there for fun. And I'm letting the dot trades kind of blow me up here, because what we're doing is we're just dropping 50 points, rallying 50 points. There's literally no continuity because there's just so much volatility. But over the long run, there is a lot more continuity here. Yeah. We're really, really reversing. Holy shit. All right. Okay, I'm going to do one last thing. Whoa. Let's see. This candle's got to, let's see if this candle's got to stay green. If this doesn't stay green, we're still alive just for a second here. Wow. Wow, man. All right, I sold the second one. Put this over here for a short target, long target entry. All right, that one gets filled. Where's this one? Buy limit over here. Let's see if I can get this one filled. All right, we'll take this one. We'll take this one out just to climb myself back. It's just, you see the volatility is just massive. But direction still to the downside, right? Wow, that was crazy. What's gold doing? Gold is definitely a much easier trade because it's not as volatile and more positive. So if we're still trading scalp, right, it's still trading trend. This was a trend trade that kind of didn't quite extend. This is a green dot candle that we would have been able to take because this was 40 against 42 and it went like 45. So you certainly had half risk on here, no problem. I'm going to sell this. Even though it's just a huge candle, it's just a massive, massive candle. But if we're sort of going to go like this much risk, let's see if we get some continuity. And that gets done. Nice. So at least, I'm sort of showing you the scalp ideas the good, the bad, and the ugly, just to get you into. I always believe that the only way you kind of understand how setups work is if I show them the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm just trying to show you the principle of the idea that you're trying to trade with momentum. These are visual clues to give you where the momentum is going. Obviously, in a situation like right now where it's just insane, we're down already $600, 600 points in Nasdaq. These candles are like, what is that, 50? Oh my God, this is like a 70-point. It's a $140 candle on the micros. So it's $100 candles on the micros. That's why they're so so big. Let's see what gold wants to do. Next, green dot in gold. We'll try to take it as a trend trade. Does it hold? Nope, does not hold. See, it doesn't give me a green dot, so I'm not taking it. Market found the Trump put. Huh. Interesting. Are you guys? I'm actually curious. Let's do another poll. Are you guys still trading? Is anybody switched over? Rick says he's exclusively trading gold. I take the volatility on the others. I can't take the volatility. Yeah. You don't look at the indicator sets. Okay, cool. That's great. Everybody can do the thing. So somebody say that you guys want. Did you guys want the like an option to take labels on, turn them on, turn them off? Did you guys want that option? Let me know if yes, and I'll be happy to modify it for you guys. But I'm glad you guys like the universal dots. I think universal dots are really, really helpful. Just for short-term scalping, stuff like that. Rick is asking me, after I get a turn label, do I get a do I wait for the dot to confirm or enter the trade? No. On the turn label. Oh, we got a dot in the in what was this? Oh, this is sorry, I'm losing my mind. This is Nasdaq. I thought it was gold. Sorry. Oh, gold does have a fucking move. God damn it. Bye. All right. I took a micro gold. I'm late on this freaking trade, but what can you do? So we're gonna move this over here. We're gonna move it, move the target, like let's say over here. Let's see if we can get any kind of movement on gold here. I should have been here. 42. I would have already been close to getting done. Sorry, I just missed that entry. But let's see if gold stays kind to us. On the turn, no, the turn label, the close of turn label is the entry for the swing trade. The swing trade is all marked for you. You come in, this is your stop, this is your first target, this is your second target. It's all totally marked for you. Oh, come on. Reach out and touch somebody. Let's go. What was this? 42 to 39. It's a 3. So actually, you know what? That's good enough. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm screwing this up. So the only, I see how trading this live with the dots. It would be helpful. What would be really, really helpful? I just realized is if we have just one target on the dot trade, and that target is like at whatever, whatever the target one risk. Like let's say, if you have so if I have the dot, this would be the lowest swing low over here, and the risk would be over here. That would make sense. Actually, I think that because we can work with the internal logic of this code here. So if this was a red dot, the swing high would be here, and you would just simply take half risk target on the dot. I think would that be helpful? I think it'd be really helpful, guys, if we could, if we go into the dot mode, it would just create a single line target for us, right? And then we can just simply lay down the stop and a target, because it'd be like a 1 entry trade instead of a 2 entry trade. GF is saying to me, what were you saying to me, GF? What if the dot signal could calculate the single candle at stop loss of 30? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like we already have the built-in, you can put in, remember this, this thing has settings. These are global settings, right? Target 1, target 2, these are global settings, right? So you could just simply, on the dots wouldn't take target 2. They would just only take target 1, and you could create whatever you want as that target. The thing is, though, it's not taking it would take the swing low, swing high, which I think is a better risk structure anyways. If you took the swing low, swing high of the move on the dots. Although, once you get to over here, the swing high would be like somewhere over here. It'd be really a lot. Maybe what what I think might be, there's no perfect way of doing this, because there's always going to be extreme cases where, let's say you say to yourself, oh, I want the stop to be 3 candles back, but when these candles are enormous, so it would be like, this would be your risk, this would be your target. Yeah, maybe what we do is we just simply say 4 dots, how many candles back risk, do you want to calculate? And then when you set that, and you set it into dot mode, it would just simply create the line based upon risk and parameters, and then it would just simply lay down those lines. So you could just, the moment you trigger the trade, you could lay down those lines. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So in dot mode, we do 1 target and create our own set of lines and targets, and then you could just simply, it would be so much easier, because instead of you trying to calculate where you should be, you just simply lay down those lines, down those charts, and it becomes so much easier. So it looks like we are in counter trend mode, guys. Looks like we are in counter trend mode. We did break out. Yeah, here's the counter trend signal. I missed it because we're talking about other stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. It's now that we're in counter trend mode, like the next green candle we'll take if it shows up. Is there an option to make lines bolder or larger? I believe when you go into settings and you go to style, literally every single one of these labels on price, which one's super turn? Candle. Lines, position labels on lines. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Doesn't look like you can make it bigger. But I could make it bigger. I could give it a bigger coding. Yeah, Christopher, I'll think about how I want to construct that, but it does make sense. No, counter trend is only a buy when the blue is below the red, and it's always a sell when the blue is above the red. Counter trend means that it's counter trend it's basically against the red line, the 200 SMA. That's where it stands. So interesting, markets are sort of frozen. Not a lot of conviction either side. The sellers try to push it lower, but it looks like sort of like the worst of the liquidation is done, and it feels to me like they're just absorbing bids here for maybe another rally higher. If they don't break the lows here at this 18,640 in the next half hour, it really feels like it wants to go higher. But until we get some evidence of that, we're not going to do anything about it. Matter of fact, I think we're going back to sell mode. Oops, let's go to here. If I go in trend mode, yeah, we're creating another trend signal. Trend sell signal. Let's see if this holds. See if the same thing is on S&P. What's going on over here? Is this like, okay. Just taking its time. "44 seconds left, so this is a pretty legit signal. We're going to try and take it if if it stays. First take profit, second take profit. Big moves, right? So this is like a large move here. 27 seconds. Definitely having the lines makes it so much easier in any trade that you place, right? Having the visual clues, even if you don't, even if you want to modify them, it's just those are visual anchors, make it so much easier. So I'm definitely, if you're in dot mode, we'll create those lines for dots. They'll just simply go away. I'll just make sure that, they anchor and they go away after 3 candles or 3 or 4 candles. I'm trying to move this up here, see if I can get some movement. I took profits because I got to run, guys, because I have to take my I have to take temperature of my daughter. But you get the idea. Like I sort of a couple of takeaways for me to take away as we go on spring break. You guys want? Let's just make sure. Give me yeses or nos on this stuff. Hey, good job, Rick, on sell. So a couple of comments from you guys. What are you guys saying to me? Okay, Cheryl loves the dot lines. Do you factor in the size of the entry candle or just go for it? No, you know, the risk candle definitely, you know, makes the difference. I'll look at this. And by the way, it's always, if I give up early, it's always going to go to target. Okay. Good job, Rick, on all that. Okay, so kind of a couple of takeaways from all of us in terms of what we need on the indicator when we come back from spring break. You want the labels to be on off, right? Is that a positive thing? Yes. You know, do we want to do that? Yeah, Martin. I'll try to reach me in the room. Like any kind of tech support, please just message me in our room, in the community room, and I'll deal with it there. You can turn them on off now. Yeah, I guess when you go into the labels mode, right? Yeah, you're right. I guess you could just. I don't think I need to do that because I can just go to style, and I go. Is it pane labels? Yeah, you can turn them on, turn them off like this. Thank you. I forgot you can do that. You can just take them all, take them off. You can also turn the lines off, I believe, too, right? So if we go to lines, I can take this off. Yes, you can take them off too. You can take the lines on and off without. I don't have to recode this. But what people do want is dot lines, dot target and stop lines, right? Dot target and stop lines. It doesn't matter. The triangles don't come back because the labels are the signal. The triangles are just there as a logic device. Yeah, so that's the trade-off we made, Rick. We made the trade-off that the hover doesn't make it. It just makes it very, very, very sloppy. You know, when you print it on the thing, it just the chart becomes super, super sloppy. So hovering makes it kind of easy. And remember, they're really secondary thing because you already have visually where the stops and targets are. You don't even. I never even look at textural stuff. Look at this move. This just continues to go down. If you stick to trend, it does pay off. So yeah. The most important thing that everybody wants, I think, is that if we're in dot mode and you're doing a dot trade, what you want is you want a line here that has the stop and a target, right? If you're in dot mode. And obviously, if I'm going to be in scalp mode, what's going to happen is I can't have too many lines. It's the swing lines and swing targets are going to go off. So you're either going to do one trade or the other trade. Because otherwise, it just gets very, very sloppy. Wow, what a move here. What a move. Anyways, aside from my sort of unfortunate first trade where I took a big hit, everything else recovered. I'm almost at where I started with you guys today. I definitely have a good chance to TP this account to target as well. And that will leave us only 2 accounts to go, I believe. This one and this one for us to target. So with this, if we can do that, that'd be amazing. We'd have 6 or 7 accounts funded. So that's the story. All right. I thank you again for hanging out with me. Let me put the offer again, guys. This is, as I said, last chance today to go out there and let me QR the code. You get this offer. You're gonna be able to get all of our stuff. Plus, I will personally fund 5 accounts for you for free. So you will have no cost for 5 accounts. As I said, right over here. Here's the deal. right over here. So please do it if you want to get the best deal. Otherwise, I'll see you guys after the spring break in a week from now, or a week from Monday, and we'll be back ready to go do business. Thanks again, everybody. Enjoy. I'll see you guys later. Take care.